volume's off. I think I'm ready. Me and my retarded self. Here we go. There's two people here. Does it sound okay? Do I need to fix my volume? Let's see. Maybe there's one people here. How are you? Nana from 1776. Nice to meet you. Do I sound okay? Or do I sound weird? Hi, Denise from Michigan. How are you? Let's see if a couple more people come and join us. Okay, Holly says it's nice. The sound good. I'm not echoing it all right. Oh, in the name of Jesus. Hopefully I'm not echoing. Hopefully I'm streaming good too. What did I do that for? Okay. A little low? Okay, let me see if I could get it a little louder. Maybe I could get it. Do I sound better now? Because I have now the mic right under me. Hi, Toby from Kentucky. That is awesome. I hope I said your name. Toby? I can't say your last name. I'm sorry. Okay, now it sounds great because I have the mic right under me. I think this mic can raise, but I think it's okay. Okay. Oh yes, how you doing? You saw me at, where was it? Oh, it used to be Seventh Heaven. That's the store they took and they moved it on Austin Highway. Toby. Okay, sounds great. Thank you. How are you? How you been? Concurrent viewers. With feedback. We have 8 people here so far, which is good. I don't care if we're big or not. This way I can answer your questions because I think sometimes when there's a lot of people, the feed just starts flying through. Annette from North Dakota. Andy, North Dakota. Say hi anyway. I am such a normal human being. Seriously, just say hello. I love you people. As a matter of fact, there's a couple of ladies who are coming to, well, they went with me to the Quilt Guild and then I left, so now they're doing the Quilting Bee with me. So I am like, I would love to meet you. I would love to get to know you. I'm really a down-to-earth person. I really am just easy. I may have you cracking up. Oh, wait. Were you the one? There's 2 people that I met at a quilt store. One I met at Quilt House, and another. Honestly, I'm not a big deal online. YouTube does not say I'm a big deal online. I just, believe it or not, just recently I hit 20,000 subscribers, and that's kind of small still in the YouTube algorithm. But then I think about, for example, like when I post a video, I get 1,000 views, maybe 2 or 3, depending on who's watching or the interest. And the truth is I'm really still small, which is okay. I think it's a good, no, I'm a chubby mom with 5 kids just trying to do something for herself. That's really it. And it's weird how you guys are even interested in watching some stuff that I do. It's just basic quilting kind of. It's just something. After I graduated college, I didn't know what to do with myself. And the year before, I got real sick and I was teaching sewing classes. And so people were asking me, well, how am I going to know how to do that sewing class? And that's why I started doing YouTube, so that I could, what I taught in the class, I did a video on. So a lot of my first videos were how to make blocks. And that's just really how I got going. And then I graduated with my degree and didn't know what to do myself. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, do YouTube. And so here I am doing YouTube since 2014, but I started like doing some junky videos way back when, before that, when I got my Longarm, I think in 2009 or something like that. So no, I'm not a celebrity, but thank you though. It's so sweet. You guys have been wonderful to me, to be honest. Sometimes I get very discouraged with kind of YouTube and the algorithm and what it does to my channel. But then I meet one of you, and you guys are so sweet and gracious. And then some of you have become my friends. And it's just like finding people that are like you and that enjoy what you do. So it's a lot of fun. Nana, I'm glad I'm helping. I try on my YouTube videos. Evelyn, I used to have a best friend named Evelyn. I try real hard to make every video different, add something new to it, and I try real hard to kind of implement something that in the process I'm learning. Now, sometimes it kind of sucks, like having to unstitch the back of a quilt top. And that week, if you want to know the truth, I did that 3 times to 3 different quilts. And it's frustrating. And sometimes it's hard to turn on the camera when I'm agitated with myself. But I'm like, you know what? I bet I'm not the only, and I say myself, idiot doing this. Maybe I'll help someone. And then I'm in the process of figuring out how to fix it. And so it really helps me. Oh, Shelly Salinas. I met her at Scrappy Quilters on 78 here in Shirts. And let me show you. She's a YouTube watcher. She was a subscriber. She's the sweetest human being I've ever met. That's how somebody, so if you guys see me, please talk to me. I'll make you my best friend probably. She started coming to the guild with me. She's the kindest human being. I love you, Shelly. I want to cry. At the time when I invited her to the guild, I was kind of having some weird issues at the guild, and she really encouraged me like to keep on pressing on, because it was a place where we can have a place for community. And I love her response to me, Miss Shelly. She's like, I just love you. And it kind of touched my heart, because I was like, wow. I don't know kind of what I bring to you. I know what you guys bring to me when sometimes you've joined my Facebook group, Untitled as Quilting Facebook group. Some of you have prayed for me. Some of you have encouraged me when I get discouraged when it comes to other stuff. Some of you like text me and said, hey, something's going wrong and I'm praying for you. And something at that time was going wrong and they were praying for me. But Shelly is now part of my little quilting bee. She came along with me. And we did this, hold on, let me get out of this curved quilt together. And so we're doing a quilting bee the 3rd Friday of every month over there at the Grange on Cibolo. And it's just so neat to have someone who just randomly watched me on YouTube is now kind of like part of what I'm doing. Like, you know what I mean? They're doing it with me. I'm not alone in this. I wouldn't think I had the courage to even do it if I didn't have that kind of support of some people wanting me to teach my own classes, because I did it when I did it at the church and the elderly community, and I kind of let it go. I did that in 2010 or 11. No, 2014 and 15. And then I stopped doing it, and now I'm starting up again. You kind of give up a dream because maybe it's not time yet or it was too much, and then kind of like the dream kind of comes back up. That's kind of been neat. And Shelly Salinas has really been there with me doing that. So we're starting this new little venture. So let me read some of you. You learned a lot from me. Annette, you got your gamel. Yes. That's awesome, Annette. I'm glad I'm helping you. Because when I started, no one taught nothing. And if they did teach something in that, they charged you a monthly fee to watch their videos. And one of them was Alinda's Electric Quilting. Another one was this guy with that country hat. He has a big top hat. I don't even know what his name is. But at the time, those were the Longarmers. Thank you, Nana. Yes, I address real life issues. You know, I don't know. The pleats, no one shared that. Pleats in the back of the quilt, I just thought I was being an idiot. No one really addressed tension. And I think what's hard is they're adjusting it, but they want money. Which, this Longarm, it's not a toy. It's expensive. And people think that because you got it, that you have money to throw away. And the truth is, I was paying for it at the time and just trying to kind of recoup some of my money. So please, if you see me out there, I probably don't look as cute as you see me on the camera because I have makeup on and I have like a pretty light on my face. I probably look a little bit wrinklier and a little bit chubbier. So come and say hi. I'm just the same human being you see. Ask Shelly. I love her. Thank you, Shelly. You're my baby girl. She's my baby girl. Shelly and I become like really good friends. We're gonna have lunch this week. She sent me to this favorite restaurant. If you're local in San Antonio, La Panadera, right? La Panadera on Broadway. You guys have to go there. The food is delicious. So if you're here in San Antonio, go to Panadera. Shelly's favorite. She's the one that showed it to me. I love it. Denise. Thank you, Denise. I'm glad you got your Longarm, and I'm glad you're using it. It's when I got my Longarm, I didn't use it for 5 years, believe it or not. I didn't use it the way I should have because I was so intimidated by it and I was afraid I was going to break it. And then at the same time, no one was showing me what to do. So yeah. Forgive and forget. Nice to meet you from South Carolina. Yes? South Carolina? Yes. Let me see. You really... Yes. Thank you, Roxanne, for... I'm glad I'm helping. That's really... I'm glad I'm helping and doing... and not wasting y'all's time. I really am. Hoping that I'm helping you. I'm hoping... Sometimes I watch some people and I'm like... Really? You're really... I watched 20 minutes of this. So yes, I understand. I'm glad I'm helping. I'm trying to post something new and different to every type of video I make. I'm trying to show, so I've learned some other things like hover iron. Okay. The steaming and the starching. I've also learned that if you hover your iron over and just starch, that it takes up your fabric. And I've also learned that if you don't steam and just lay your fabric and press it here and there, it tightens that fabric. So if you're having waviness or issues like that, that really helps. But those are really tricks that I'm learning as I'm going. And just trying to figure this thing out. Because I've seen some people who do longarm quilting and they don't. Okay, now I see them talking about it because they see kind of like in my older videos, like wavy borders, wavy borders. They see the view count, the YouTubers, they see the view count. So then now they're addressing wavy borders. I've seen some well-known longarm quilters all of a sudden starting addressing wavy borders, but they weren't addressing them before. I also think that some longarmers that are on YouTube give a fake, fake view of what this is about. So I want you to know that I did a custom quilt the other day, and it was a lot. And I don't want to say it broke my back, but you know how you see some of the custom quilting that some people do and they make it look so easy and so flowy and so simple, and it's just so great. And it's just like, and no, because when I'm doing custom quilting, I'm sweating like a heifer. I'm leaning over the long arm like I'm out of line. You should have seen, I just finished a beautiful star quilt that I just finished quilting. And I have this step up bench, and I was hunching my whole body, my whole body over the long arm, because I was sick of rolling it and unrolling it, and I was sick of unstitching and unstitching to get the quilt done. So I would like get on this ugly step, and I filmed it so y'all could laugh at me and see my big old body over the long arm. But I think there's not a real true view from some of these people that are award winners. They don't want to show the secrets. And also to the people who sell the machines, they want to make it look like kumbaya, my lord, so they can get kumbaya your money. So yes, let's see who else is saying something. I'm glad. I hope, let me see, some of you like my videos because they bring you joy. I hope so. Okay, Shelly wants me to tell everybody about the long arm. Okay, so let's share about the quilt on this long arm. If you come to the bee, if you're local, or if you participate in some way, what we're doing as a group, we sewed this together. And the people who are on this group, this is what you want me to share. Yes, Shelly? Whoever participates in making the quilt, they could sponsor an individual to have the quilt donated to. So when you sponsor a person, you do like a flyer, and you give it to me or Shelly, and we do a bowl, like a little bowl, and you can put your name in the bowl, and that person can receive the quilt. So this is going to be a bee donated quilt. We're going to try to do one every month, and then the other consecutive months we're going to do block of the months. We're also going to do show and tell, trunk shows, and kind of like have it like a quilt guild kind of. But 6 months out of the year, we're going to try to do a donated quilt. She also wants me to tell you about, this is all curves. These are all, I'm trying to get my camera like, they're all curves. And one of the things that you do with the curves is when there's, I didn't bring it up here, Shelly, the block. You Elmer glue one end of the curve, and then you stick the glue to the other end. I have a video of this. This is called Deck the Halls Quick Curve Ruler. I have a video on how you can Elmer's glue the curve, then heat set it with your iron, and then sew a 1/4 inch without using pins, without trimming the curve to make it curve. But I do have a video, and what time frame here, I'll put it up here, and I'll also put it on the link on that video, because I did this quilt with the quick curve ruler, and I don't know the company that does the quick curve ruler, but I'll find it. I'll note it in the notes, the information bar, after this is over, on how I did a different quilt. And I'll even share in that video the pattern and everything. It's really easy to, when you heat set it with Elmer's glue, just sew it, and then you open the seam and iron it, and it completely sews flat. And all of these pieces were made out of curves. It's a curve, and it's called the Quick Curve Ruler, but I don't know what the name of the company is. So, okay. So people are asking me if I would do videos on the quilting bee. I can't do videos on the quilting bee when I'm in the process of teaching. So it makes it really hard. I did take my camera, but I had like 17 people asking me questions, and this was my first one, and it was really hard to kind of get a camera unless I get a camera person who can film processes of my work. But at this time, I didn't do a video There is a live feed, and I posted it on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group on the bee that we had, and how I set up the space, how I organized it. But am I going to do a video on YouTube for you guys to watch at this current time? No. I may talk about it in the video and share the ruler and some of the information, but I don't think I didn't film the bee, other than this lady did a live stream on Facebook, and you can see it on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group. So you can do it on that. So you can watch that. The quilt is really easy to do, by the way. Now, I don't recommend it if you're doing a group sew, because a lot of hands are twisting and turning the curves and moving everything around. I think it's so easy to do it yourself. And it really came out really pretty. So I'm sorry, Roxanne, I'm not going to do a video on the bee. Maybe I'll add it in a video, like a blog, and talk about it. But I do have it on my Lorena's Quilting Facebook group, what the bee was kind of like. And it's under this lady, Pat Solis Facebook. She did a live, which I should have done a live on YouTube, but then I can't answer your questions. So it's kind of, I don't know yet. We're going to figure this out. I have a camcorder that I could use to do live streaming, but then it's a whole process. Y'all don't know. Like right now I have my computer here. I guess I could have a laptop, but just to set up for the bee is a lot. People who sell rulers for long-arm quilting, Mary, I don't know. I think, for example, I'm getting myself a laser cutter, and what I want to do is I want to make my own. I want to make my own rulers. The motivation is not necessarily for me to make money, because I'm okay. Does it make sense? But for example, this is my favorite ruler. This is my favorite ruler. If you want a ruler, if you're looking for a long arm quilting ruler, or even you can even use this for your sewing machine. If you have a regular sewing machine and you want a ruler so that you could do straight lines, this is the ruler to have. You could get these at Joann's, half off. I think they're like, I thought they were $16. I don't know at this current time anymore. Now, you could see that the coloring is coming off because I love it so much. I just wish that this ruler was half its size. And the reason I say that is because after a while, when you're doing roller work, your hands get hot. Your hands get tired. Now, we all have motivations, right? Like, what are your motives? What are your motives, and what are you doing this for? There's some people who are on YouTube, and you know, they're just motivated to get views, and they're motivated to get, if the more views you get, the more money they get, and they're very motivated to gain something off of you guys. So and then you have long armers, and we all have a right to support ourselves somehow. Like, I love Jamie Wallen's ruler, okay? I don't like the word apothecary. I just don't like it because I'm a Christian. But I know that Quilting Fairy, Jamie Madison, I think that's her name. She had a ruler exactly like this, but it was bright yellow. And I love the handle. I love this handle. And she had one too. I originally saw her have one, and then Jamie Wallen started coming out with these. Now, my problem with this one, I don't like the name, but which is fine. It's just his design. I love the ruler. I love the handle, but I think this handle is too tall. And he's a man, Jamie Wallen. I think that's his name. He's a man, so he has the ruler based, I'm sure, to his hand, I think. And so I have issues sometimes, and I have big hands. I'm a big-handed girl. So I think there's some that are sincerely really wanting to provide a product that other long armers would like you to use. I also think some other people like I know one of my favorite long armors. What is her name? She does the quick curve rulers. The quick curve rulers. These. What is her name? I ended up buying like $180 just on these. Let me just say this. That's kind of a ripoff because it's a lot on just plexiglass. So, but I also understand that the person who's providing this product is also buying it from the laser cutter. Then the laser cutter selling it to them. So there's that third person. So I ended up spending a lot of money on these rollers that I don't even use. And so I think, yeah, you aspire to be like your favorite maker, kind of. And so you want to buy the products your favorite maker does. And so they kind of use that influence to their benefit. But I don't think it's worth it sometimes. Gary's complaining to me. Gary's fighting with... Sorry. I got Gary fighting with the cord again. I don't know. I don't know people's intentions and I don't know people's motives. So I think you just have to decide on YouTube who fits you. But I also want to be fair to the long armors that are selling rulers and that are selling products. YouTube doesn't pay you that much. And so, for example, on the block swap, I ended up spending probably like, a full week or 2 work day on getting the pattern for the block and the pattern for the quilt top, creating the quilt top, making sure it's tested well and made. And then you're doing a lot of free services for people. And so what I'm trying to do is kind of recoup a little bit of my time. So I wanted to sell my pattern on Etsy. But I wanted to sell my pattern on Etsy so I could get like at least $3 or $2 or something off of all that time and create a passive income for myself. So you can't expect people who are doing this field to just do work for nothing, because you, as a viewer, you don't work for nothing either. If you're working and taking time out of your life to do something, you're going to want to be compensated in some way. So making rulers is a good way to get compensated if you're a long armor. But I want to make rulers that I love, and I try to share with you guys like stuff that I love, like my cordless iron, that Panasonic, that measuring thing that snaps back up from Fons and Porter's. I want to share with you stuff that I love and not just try to sell you. So like, I love this ruler. I love it. Joann's, $6. It's okay. When are you really gonna do circles? Yeah, Gary made noise over there. So you kind of have to just take with what you're gonna have to decide what you want from. I decided to go crazy when I graduated and got my bachelor's to treat myself to her rulers because I love her quilting and I wanted to do her type of quilting. Her type of quilting didn't fit me, but it is what it is. I don't like this ruler, but I know another long armor who loves this ruler, who uses this for ruler work on her regular sewing machine. So I'm going to try it. Let's see. But people's motivations, like, I don't have to work, so my motivations are different. I could donate fabric to do a quilt. I could donate my time. I have a husband that takes really good care of me. But I imagine the story would be different, like if something happened to my husband and I did need the income and I did need to make more revenue so I could sustain my lifestyle. So you kind of have to just consider, people need to make a living. And like, I'm not so pressured under YouTube to make a lot of money off of YouTube. That's why I'm not constantly posting videos to make money, because I have clients. So there's that. So whether the motives are good or not, just don't do what I did. Go crazy and buy everything. Buy one from someone that you like. Try it. And if you love it, buy more. I, like an idiot, bought 3. Because, I don't know. I thought having this would make me a better long armor. It's like, I got the Bowflex. If I have the Bowflex, I'll be nice and fine and skinny, like those models in the video. I'll just, I'll be that person. And I got the Bowflex. I used it for a couple months. It worked fine for a while. But I never looked like that hot chick in the video. So these tools don't make you good at something. Practice makes you good at something. And finding what you love is what I recommend. So let me read some of these. Yeah, on the quick curve ruler, I walked through you every step, which was insane. But let's see. Let me read some more. Yeah, just, some of them, they're in it for the money. And what can we say? I think it's hard because musicians, like Cardi B and all these singers like my kids are listening to, it's okay for them to show their bodies and be flamboyant and act crazy. That's what gets your attention. That's what gets you seen. That's what gets you authority. And it's about money, right? Money is a big motivator to why people do things. So just consider, I should have never bought this stuff. I don't know. I just thought, because I love the lady, I loved her work, that I would be as talented as her. And the truth is, it didn't. It just sits in a drawer. So let me see. I'm getting my laser cutter. This is from Marie Williams, is asking me. She got a Glowforge and she wants to learn how to cut stuff. I'm getting my laser this December. I promise when I get it, I'm going to be posting videos. Also too, I want to test out like rulers, like with different shapes so that your hand sits better. I don't know. I just want to play with it. I want to find things that work for me and then share it with you. And I want to get testers to try it and see if they like it. Rocking chair quilt. Been there. All right, let me see. So I'm going to get the laser, I believe, in December from Ayana. I got the Ayana 16. No, I got the Ayana 14. And they keep sending me emails that we'll see when it comes, but hopefully in December or November. But I promise, I'll post a video of me acting like a fool. And it's huge, so we're going to have to take it apart and put it in. And I'm kind of nervous. The other day I was thinking maybe I shouldn't have got it. I was kind of like, you shouldn't have gotten it. You're too old. What are you thinking? And then the neat thing is Ayana has like a Facebook group where it talks about people who have the same machine. And it was really encouraging seeing one lady showing some of her stuff. That was beautiful. Yeah. We all have to just... I have some YouTubers that I'm not in agreement with. I don't know. But, hey, we all... I just better shut up. I'm not in agreement with some YouTubers. I think some YouTubers are lazy. Some people wanted me to collab with them, and I refused to because I don't want to bring in my views, my people who watch me and trust me, into a community of people, of a person who's not having the right motives for them. So I'm very protective of like that for the community that I'm creating. Also too, on like my Facebook group, I've had people go on there that want to push me to do things that I'm not comfortable with. Like I've been getting a lot of sponsors lately. Like people want me to do videos and say, yeah. One of them was they wanted to give me watches, and then do a commercial on, look, if you buy this watch, you'll love it. And that I would get commission from you guys purchasing watches from me. But what does watches have to do with quilting? I guess how much time you work? It just doesn't fit. And so the good thing is I'm not motivated by need of money. And someone says money is the root of all evil. The love of money. The love of money. Money is a tool, and it says, there's a scripture in the Bible that it says that money is safety. So money can protect you and help you, but if the love of money is when you love it more than your morals. Yeah, so be careful. Let me just see. Some if you don't use them. Sell my rulers if I don't use them. What if one day I need them? I saw a teaching just recently. Me and Shelly saw it at a quilt guild that I left, where a lady was using this on her sewing machine. So I'm going to give it a good hearty try. I got the foot for my Juki 210Q, and for this Juki, like I love my Juki. So when I did a video on the Juki, I was sharing with you something that I love, that I bought 2 of, that I'm in, like my irons. I have 4 of those irons. So I'm not telling you to get something that I'm willing not to buy more than one. And Jennifer from Minnesota is here. Say hi to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. Nice. I love you. Nice to meet you. No, I have a Bowflex. And guess what? I ended up getting a Peloton because I've been getting a bit thicker from the pandemic. I'm getting some thickness in me, and I don't want to get too much thicker. So I have been doing the Peloton since March, and I've been into it like 100%. I want to do a video on that dumb machine, that dumb bike. I love it. But in a month, maybe a month or two, the last 2 months, I've been in a funk. I've been in a weird funk. I've had shoulder pain, and I've had some back pain, and so I haven't been on it. And now I'm like, get back on that stupid Peloton. So the tool doesn't matter. It's the user of the tool. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The user of the tool. So you can have a bike, or you can have a Bowflex, and you can have all that stuff. You can have all the rulers of the world, but if you don't use them, they're worthless. That's why I love this one. I use the heck out of this one. Let me just see. I have bought rulers and it did nothing for me. Yes, Nana, find your favorite. And that's why I recommend buy one. I should have bought one of these and given it a try. I think they were like $20, $25, maybe $18. And at the time, 2015, that's a lot of money. I bought 3 of them. I ended up spending probably like $500 on rulers. I got a set of these that I don't even use. These are really hard to use because you can't place your hand on them. So when you're turning the long arm, you don't have nothing to grip. They're not okay. So let's see. Yeah, people have asked me to take sponsors. Delete. I just thought, you don't know. It's enough that you guys have to watch videos on my videos. You know, like little 20-minute snippets. To me, that's enough. When I watch my favorite YouTubers and they're like, this is sponsored by HelloFresh, I fast forward, and then get to them again because I don't want to hear it. So, yeah, pandemic thickness. Yeah, my butt's getting thick. I'm getting like a flappy back. Girls. Yeah, people. Y'all don't see it right. I look as fine as when you first saw my videos. Ugh. I told my son the other day, we're working out like with weights because I'm turning 50 and I feel like I'm losing hand strength and shoulder strength. And, dude, just doing lunges, like 12 lunges by myself without weights. I was sore for 3 days. Ugh. Yes. I really want you to see how I unstitch a lot. I just did a custom quilt and a star quilt, and I think when I first started, I would panic when I would, because you have the ruler right, and then you go down, and I would wave it, and I would mess up, and because I was like, God, why can't I do it perfect? I honestly don't think no one has a perfectly quilted quilt without them somehow, somewhere unstitching it. So I had to get over being perfect. So if you're close to Texas, or if you're in Shirts, Cibolo, New Braunfels, wherever you are, if you want to come to my quilting sewing bee, third Friday of every month, just let me know. And so here we are. I got the bike too. Okay. You got the Peloton too? Okay, join me. My name is Lorena Cadena and I put 49. That's my name. Tag me. And then I can see if you're doing it and keep an eye on you. Tangle Zest. The thickness is here. I saw my legs, and usually my legs are the skinniest part of my body, and my arms are pretty thin. Well, not no more. They kind of like they wave in the sea. Hello, bye bye. And I was like, girl, you need to lose some weight. If your legs are getting thick, you have a problem. Because I've always had a thicker midsection. Let's not talk about that. Okay, let's see. Watch your posture. Okay, I'll be watching my pelt. Levon Walker. Join me. We'll be followers on Peloton. Honestly, if you guys want to follow me on Peloton, please. It will probably make me get on more. I had a workout channel and I quit doing it because not a lot of people came on with me. And so I was going to do like because this has helped me be accountable to make quilt tops, finish my stuff. It's kind of motivated me to post a video on making something with sewing, because at one time I was just, I wasn't sewing that much. And so making a video made me sit down and sew. Does that make sense? And so I thought, well, if I start a channel where I'm just working out, then I would have to do videos of being healthy. Maybe that would motivate me. And I don't know. I did it for a little bit, and I did a 100-step challenge, or walking 100 days, because that's one of the videos I wanted to do. I did do it, but did I post a lot on it? No. I'm trying to do 100 rides on Peloton. I think I have almost 50 something, maybe 60 rides, and they're 30-minute rides each. Oh, but anyway, let's not talk about, we're here for quilting. So look, so this is the curve quilt from the Sweet Honeybee. So if you're interested, I have a video on this. I just took one of the panels off, but the panel's called Deck the Halls from, I don't know who it is, but I'll post it on the information bar. Okay, let's see. The other day when I came on my live feed, I talked to you guys about how I got blessed with all this fabric. Look at that. All this fabric. I told you that I was hurting from my shoulder. Hi from Canada. Let me say hi from San Diego's here. Canada's here. We have Minnesota, Michigan. We've had South Carolina. I've tried to say hi to everybody who's here. I have not tried rollers because I did not purchase the base plate. Okay, Denise, I have a base plate that you will love. Sorry. I have the Longarm Quilting base plate that you will love. Call this company. It's called Ruler Mate. This is the best base plate you can have. Okay? There's some people from Georgia here, Las Vegas, Nevada, right? Nevada. We have Hallmark, VA. Is that Virginia? I think that's Virginia, right? Shenlanden, Virginia. Woohoo! So if you want a base plate, Gamble gave me the worst. Let me see. They gave me the worst plate for the Longarm. I hated it. So this is the best one. Call the company. It latches really easy. I kind of just got distracted. I talked about fabric, not distracted. Love this base plate, guys. I love it. And so it is expensive. I think it was $100. Talk to the company. They have specific for different machines. I love it. When I had the Gamble base plate, the plate, it would get caught with the spring and then it would jump and then I would mess up my straight line. Worst ever. So I ended up buying that one. So if you don't have one, ask for Christmas for one of these. I love this. It's nice and firm. And you just need to put, I don't know if you can see it. I ended up putting this, what is that? It's like cork. It's a sticky cork to tighten it to my machine. So yes, go look for them for the base plates. They're the best. I love that plate. It's a one-time purchase. You'll purchase it and that's it. You won't want another one. And that's why I want to share like my favorite things. Once you purchase it, you'll love it and you'll like it. We have Deb from Iowa. Desmond. I'm not good with words, okay? Desmond, Iowa. I hate that Gamma base plate. No, it was the worst. But it was the worst. It's called the Ruler Mate. It's called the Ruler Mate. It's www.lovettoquilt.com. Best plate ever. They make them for mostly all the Gammels, and I think they make them for other people too. They are like $100, okay? They are expensive. I don't know if they're more now, but it's solid metal. Best plate ever. So I just wanted to add that. Yes. Honestly, someone who does sit-down rulers, they say these are great. This lady buys them and she said these were great. But buy one, do a test, see if you like it. They're kind of weird. You know, it goes through the foot and this does like straight little lines. But the truth is, you could buy one of these at Joann's. I bought these dumb things at a quilt store for 50 cents. Yes. Yeah. So it's just find something, try it out, see if your hands like it. and see and go from there. Okay, let me see what else I could say. So on the Love the Live feed, I talked about them giving me fabric, and that if I got on here, I was gonna do a fabric haul, show you what fabric was given to me. I have one of those. I'm reading y'all's messages. Okay, I'm sorry. British Columbia, Canada. That's kind of cool. Nice to meet you. From, I want to say Joanna. Any suggestions on where to start to learn? Okay. There's this book, 5 Steps to Longarm Quilting. I recommend that book. They talk about curves, S curves, C curves, lines, loops. If you could do those, you could do any design. So if you get that book, I love that book. It's 5 Steps to Longarm Quilting, I believe. I don't know the name of who it is. All right, we have Nova Scotia, Canada. Nice to see you. Canada. Alberta. Y'all are awesome. Nice to meet you guys. So that book, someone's asking me, what are the first steps to learn longarm quilting? You don't have to have a long arm to learn how to long arm. You can literally learn how to long arm without long arming by, let me see if I can get a pen, by doodling. I have videos on doodle challenges that I used to do, and I recommend doodling. If you can doodle, you can long arm, because quilting, long arm quilting, is basically, I'm trying to find a clean piece of paper, is basically doodles. That's all it is. Do I have a clean piece of paper somewhere? Probably not. Probably not. Yes, I found a piece of paper. So in that book, 5 Steps to Longarm Quilting, can you see me? I was going to share fabric and I just totally got distracted. You have to learn how to do line work. Right? Line work. You have to learn how to do the loop. Oops. Or a cursive L. Can you see me? You also have to learn how to do a letter C, a cursive letter C. So it's this way, this way. You also have to learn how to do an S curve, which is that one. 1, 2, 3. And you have to do a loop, and then you have to do a circle or letter O. If you know how to do cursive, you probably can learn how to do quilting if you got a new long arm. So let's say, and the arc, and an arc. So she says 5 steps, so you don't probably need this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you look at, can you see me? I'm sorry. If you have a computerized system, skill builders from. But doodling, you don't have to have a long arm to learn how to long arm, because if you can do this on a pencil, you could probably do it on your regular sewing machine. And because it's all memory, and understand that quilting is learning how to quilt from right to left and left to right. So if I want to practice letter C, do you see me doing the letter C? But I also have to learn how to do the letter C wait, from the opposite end, because quilting is one direction and then quilting the opposite direction. So it's gotten to the point that I'm becoming is the word ambidextrous? I don't know. I can literally work with my left hand now, sometimes, just as well. So I would start eating with my left hand, and I start eating with my right hand, but I'm right-handed. But your way of thinking is kind of the same. Learning how to move. Do you see how I'm learning how to move backwards? Because long arm quilting, you flow this way and then you have to quilt this way sometimes. And so if you want to learn long arm quilting, get a doodle pad. And so, for example, if I'm going to do a flower, you do a circle, right? Arc, 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 arc. And then here's a loop. And then here's a circle. And I just made a flower. There's a flower. And if you can learn how to do these elements in one direction and in the opposite direction, you can learn how to long arm quilt. And so, let me see. If I get another piece of paper that doesn't have nothing on it, let's see. Let's see on here. I'm trying to get I should bring clean sheets of paper up here, right? Clean sheet of paper. So if you do a feather is an S curve. Do you see that? And then if you do an S curve, and then you do an arc, and then you come back up the arc, it's just continuous S curves. And if you can do an S curve and continue, you can learn how to quilt. So you don't have to have a gamble. I wish I was told that when I first got my machine, because half the time when I started learning how to quilt long arm, I was having to learn how to doodle the design. And if you could doodle the design and doodle it well in one direction and in the opposite direction, then when you get on the long arm, your brain already has that feel of that movement. And so when someone says you have to have a long arm, or if you have a long arm, it's going to be very discouraging, because you're not going to have the movement ready, one. And the other part too is the long arm is going to flow too fast, and you're not going to be able to control that quick movement. So the other recommendation, if you want to learn long arm quilting, once you've doodled and doodled a lot and doodled something, and get a scrap piece of fabric, and you could do this on your regular sewing machine and a long arm. You could do it on both. Get a piece of foam, a 1-inch foam, and put it in between the back bars, mine is called a pickup bar. Put a foam on your pickup bar and slow down the ability of moving that long arm. Gamble says, ooh, look how fast it flows. Look how fast the machine goes. It's nice and smooth. Nice and smooth is not to your benefit, because the machine is so heavy, it moves so fast, it kind of takes over, and it's hard for you to control that long arm. So when I first started, because I was learning how to control the machine, how you doing? From So Crafty Teachers with Alicia, sorry. How you doing? You need to put a foam. And that foam slows down your long arm. And so you're pushing the long arm to go where you want it to go. And so that's how I started. I have videos from way back when, where I had a foam in the long arm, where I was pushing the long arm to where I wanted it to go. It is going to work your forearms. It is going to work your wrists, because you're creating a drag. You can also use rice bags. You can use... I bought a foam and I covered it, and I even have a video. Do long arms need a pillow? I'll post it on the link if I'll find it. And that will create a drag that helps you do long arm quilting, and it gives you control of the machine better. So that's my recommendation. Doodle as much as you can. The 5 Steps to Long Arm Quilting, I would get that book. She also has a book on feathers, and then she literally has a workbook to where you would practice. You don't have to write in the book. You can probably make copies for yourself and just practice the work, because at first it's going to look bad and you're not going to like it because your brain doesn't know how to move. In the left, we Americans read from left to right. Am I right? Yeah, we read left to right. Other cultures read right to left. In long arm quilting, you have to be able to do both. To scribble left to right, like we normally write. But then when you're moving the long arm, you also have to move, what's that? Right to left. I'm getting my arms confused. So doodle. Yes, practice. I remember one of my friends says, I remember when you started working, you just practice. That's it. People see my work. Okay. I'm gonna laugh. Some people get long arms and they get long arms, right? And they think, oh, and these are YouTubers. Let's just be honest. People get long arms, and some of them are YouTubers, and they're like, I'm going to get a long arm like Lorena, and I'm going to be able to do what Lorena does. But the truth is, what I've done is it's been like an invested trade skill. Skill takes time to earn. I can never, at this time, I think I could probably quilt like Sharon Chamber because I've practiced so much and I've gotten really good. But Sharon Chamber has quilted years longer than I have. So she's like a professional, beautiful long armer. But just because I have the long arm that she has doesn't mean that I could do her kind of work. Like the way she does pebbles, the way she does feathers. It's something to strive for and practice. But just because I know one girl got on YouTube and she got a long arm because she saw that I'm getting views on long arm quilting. So now she wants to get views on long arm quilting, which is whatever. And she found out that when she started doing pebbles on her long arm, that she couldn't do them as pretty as they could be because she doesn't know how to control the machine. She doesn't know how to put drag on it. And just because you have the machine doesn't mean you're going to be able to do what you see someone else do. And so practice. That's my counsel to you. Practice. If you want advice on long arm quilting, doodle all the time. I used to get in trouble in college because I used to doodle on the tables. Or I would doodle on paper and the teacher would feel like I wasn't paying attention to her. And I was listening, but I would be doodling while I was listening to them. And so practice. If you want to get good on long arm quilting, as a matter of fact, just recently I did a star quilt and I was like, oh, can I do it? Because the star had 9, it had 6 points. Can I do straight lines? Can I do a consistent straight line all across the machine? And oh my God, I've done it so much that I'm like, girl, you could do this. But you know what? When I first started, my lines were not as straight as they could be. But at the end of this quilt, my lines were like, mwah. They were perfection, because even in doing straight line stitchings, just straight lines, it all takes practice. And you can see someone do something, and it's one way of doing straight lines on paper, but then what you've learned on paper with your doodles, put it on your machine. Leah Day, I am like wowed by her because she does some cool stuff just with a regular sewing machine. But just because she could do it on a regular sewing machine doesn't mean that she could do that same kind of stuff on a long arm, because it's a different way of moving your body. Just like sitting and sewing, it's a different way of moving. So just practice. Practice on paper, practice on your long arm. What I could do on the long arm, I can't do on the regular sewing machine that well. I'm not that good yet. And it's because I haven't added the time and practice to it. So doodle, and practice and make time. Even 30 minutes a week of long arm practicing or sewing machine practice, and just do it once a week. I promise you'll see such an improvement within a month or two. Vicky Childers, you're fine. Nice to see you. Um, da, 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 da. Yes. Charity quilts. I love the fact that my machine is a computer. Just this week I did a custom quilt, which the custom quilt took me 3 days because custom quilts take you a while. But before I did that custom quilt, I did 5 quilts. Before, yeah, I think I did 3 quilts one day and 2 quilts the next day. And then I said, okay, you better slow down because you're going to be doing a custom quilt. And you just needed some energy. So I took my time on the custom quilt. But yes, long arm quilting gets you to finish quilts faster. And let me say, if you can afford a computerized long arm, go for it. There's no shame, man. Get those quilts done. Get them out of here. Leslie, I'm glad you're here. Nice to meet you. So I want to show you my fabric before I get distracted. I remember on the last live feed, I talked about how I was given this fabric and that I was going to do a show and tell on fabric, but I'm getting distracted because I want to answer your questions. But I want to show you the blessing. Will it focus on you? Hold on. I'm trying to get the light right so that you can see the fabric and it doesn't glare. Okay. Look at this fabric. This is from I don't know. But I think what happened is the person who donated this fabric and then the people who gave me this fabric, I think she would do blocks of the month. I'm going to even show you blocks of the month. Look how beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? She did blocks of the month and she would buy kits. Now, I'm not going to open them all up because y'all be like, we've seen fabric before, lady. Come on. But look. Isn't that awesome? It's the whole kit and the pattern to make this quilt top. But look at this. Look at that. It has 2 of these. Best day ever. Best day ever. You know when people say, I got some fabric to donate to you, I always think that they're going to donate me their crap. I'm sorry. Come on. Who donates? But when I said, sure, I'll take it. And if I don't want it, I'll just give it away. And so, but look at this. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, wait. Look how beautiful this fabric is. Hi, nice to meet you, Sandra. Sandra. You know I like me some potatoes. Look at these deliciousness. Look at them delicious. I want to use these for what other fabric? This is, I think she had blocks of the month, whoever donated all this fabric, and I'm going to show you the blocks of the month. And then she would buy the finishing kits. And so, like, this is the kit for this whole one. Finishing kits. So what I'm going to do, since I hit 20,000 subscribers, I know, I'm going to do a giveaway. So when you're done, because all these feeds do not stay in this, I'm going to do 2 giveaways. So make a comment after I leave saying, I want to be part of the giveaway. And if you win, I'll text you and I'll get your address and I'll send you a bundle of fabric that was donated to me. Look at it. Because I'm not going to, well, I'm sure, look, these are kits. But look at this. Look how delicious that is. Dun, dun, dun. And beautiful. So, look, I wanted to show you this. So whoever donated this, and I want to thank Barbara and David Weaver who gave me this fabric. Blocks of the month. Look at how cool. Aren't those beautiful? Yes, custom quilts are not money makers. You're right, but they are skill makers. They make you learn. They force you to learn. And don't be afraid to take a custom quilt at least once a year, because it forces you to learn how to design a quilt, and it forces you to work and learn how to do straight lines. There was times where I take 2 quilts for free and I would do custom quilts. Well, I would charge for the custom quilting, but I wouldn't charge them that much because I was learning. And I wanted to learn how to be a real long armor. A real long armor knows how to custom quilt a quilt. Now, I'm not saying I'm not a real long armor when I'm, being a computerized long armor, but you want to also not just learn how to do pantos, because sometimes, and I'm going to go into it, sometimes things go wrong. And if you can't fix it when things go wrong by being able to, for example, I did a video once where the lines on the computer did not attach. And so I had to unstitch the straight line and then go back and quilt it down. And because I knew how to quilt it down, I knew how to fix what went wrong from the computer. So my recommendation is learn how to long arm like do custom work. Because if something goes wrong with the computer or something goes on with the system that it doesn't line up right, you're able to fix it. You want to learn how to work your machine too. It's not just about money. Well, depends on who you are. But for me, I got the long arm to learn how to skill the long arm, to be a long armor, not just be a long arm business. So no, custom quilts, you don't make a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I'm doing 2, and I only do 2 custom quilts per year for my favorite clients, because I rather custom quilt my own quilts, because it's worth my own investment in my own quilts. But I recommend that no matter what, do a quilt for a client and custom quilt it, because that's where you learn how to design, how to do ruler work, how to do stippling, how to do things that normally you wouldn't do if your computer was doing it. So no, maybe you're not getting the money investment or the time investment back, but you are learning the skill. And one of the blessings of doing long arm quilting and custom work for people is I have more faith in myself in quilting quilts for others. Because the other day, my long arm computerized system jumped and it got caught somehow, and it jumped, and I was able to fix that weird curve and I moved the quilt down and put the curve on the quilt, because I knew that I could do it manually. And custom quilting is learning how to move your machine manually. So I do recommend that even though you have a computer, take the belts off, put some effort and learn manual long arm quilting, because then you can fix things. So would I ever consider being a speaker at a quilt guild? I wouldn't mind. I love my guild. I did a lot of stuff there. Yes, and I'm a bit crazy. A little bit. I'm a little bit serious when I'm doing a class, because I'm trying to make sure that everybody, for example, when I did this quilting bee, I wanted to make sure that everybody was sewing and everybody was working and everybody was doing something. So I was a little bit more serious and focused and not as goofy as I can be. But some people, like if you're a new sewer, they kind of tend to sit and not know what to do. So you have to, if you're teaching sewing, you have to look at everybody's skill level. And so, yeah, I did speak at my quilt guild. I did a lot for them. They don't, but it doesn't matter. Let's see. I like Christmas. I know. The fabric was wonderful. Look, also too, they gave me blocks of the month. All these. Sorry, I got distracted. I read a post and I want to answer it. I got distracted. There's literally 2016, 2018 blocks of the month. And here, there's some blocks of the month. So whoever was doing these did a whole bunch of blocks of the month. There's, this is the company they bought it from. Let me see. This is another type of block of the month. I have literally 10 blocks of the month in here that whoever donated this fabric had planned to do 10 2016 here. Look at this. From the Fat Quarter Shop. Isn't that beautiful? That's some pretty fabric. Isn't that beautiful? So like this, all this is one whole quilt. Whole quilt top. So if you make a comment on after we're gone, because at all these streams that I'm getting, it's not going to be on the feed. I will put you in a drawing and I will do a fabric giveaway. I'll do 2 bundles of fabric because I have my own bundle of fabric too. Let's see. I also have jelly rolls. Look. Dun, dun, dun. Jelly rolls. Hey, now I understand why the Fat Quarter Shop's on YouTube. They make a killing. Imagine this lady, she was just one lady, how much fabric she bought from them and how many blocks of the month she did. Let me see. Let me read some of you. Yes, Longarm quilt. Honestly, look at Green Fairy Quilting, Jamie Madison. She doesn't have a gamel. She has a white framed long arm, a white long arm. I don't know if it's a handy quilter. I don't know exactly, but you should see this lady's work. The truth is, the long arm is not what's going to make you a great long armor. It's you doing it. Like me having a computer, I felt sometimes it was a deficit because it made it too easy. I didn't have to work to learn the skill. But the people who I'm like want to strive to quilt like, one is like Jamie Madison, one is Sharon Chamber, where they do that manual, beautiful long arm quilting. But that doesn't come, you can't push a button to do that. You have to learn the skill. And so, let me see. I would love to go meet y'all. I don't know if, I'm honestly, someone was asking me if I would do a quilt guild retreat. I think that would be fun. Get some of you to come and do a quilt guild somewhere. Yes. And all the like, what is the lady who I bought the rulers from? Lisa Callie. Her name is Lisa Callie. You know, they've like earned who I bought these, Lisa Callie's who I bought these rulers from. But the truth is I could have all her tools. It doesn't matter if I do not do the work. If you don't do the work, you're not going to get the skill. Let's see. Totally agree. I love doing custom work. Someone was asking me something. I love Dawn Burns. If you want part of the giveaway, please make a comment after the live stream is done, because YouTube is going to erase all of this. All this conversations that I'm having, YouTube is going to delete it all and then start fresh on comments. Let me see who else. Yes, any machine. I think there was this guy, he was a Longarmer, and he had a messed up machine, but when he did his Longarm quilting, oh my God, his work was beautiful. And he had a machine that he was complaining that the thread wasn't working and this was not right, and he was cussing out his machine. And I was like, but God, his work was beautiful. Thank you, Debbie, for loving my channel. Thank you for watching. Hello, Pat Solis. ¿Cómo estás, chula? I don't, to be honest, I don't buy any fabric from the Fat Quarter Shop or Missouri Star Quilting. I don't buy fabric online. And the reason I don't, I know some of you do, and that's fine. I buy fabric from my local quilt stores. My favorite local quilt store is Fiberworks. It's owned by a lady named Sandra. She's over there on McKinney, Texas on 78. I love her. She's one of my most, I love her store. I love her store because of her. It was owned by another quilt owner, and the store had a different energy, but Sandra has really just, she's, you know, she loves people. And so when you love people, people see that and people want to come to you. So that's where I go. Also too, and I know y'all don't yell at me, okay? This quilt, let me get out of the way. This quilt, this fabric, I was going to use this fabric, but I felt that it was very flowery, earthy. I didn't know how it would look, so I was kind of nervous about it. And I feel like this is really expensive fabric. I don't buy from the Fat Quarter Shop, so I don't know the value of the fabric. I'm sure it's a lot because it's good quality fabric. And I didn't know the kind of group I was going to have and the level of piecing. So I went to Walmart and bought this fabric. $3.44 a yard. I ended up buying 8 yards. I ended up spending like $30 to be able to do this quilt top. So I know, but don't judge me because big bucks, you know, but you can't beat $3.44 on fabric. And to be honest, it's pretty good fabric. I was surprised how good the fabric was. And compared to, okay, please don't get mad at me. Compared to this fabric, the feel of this fabric, to feel the fat fabric, oh my God. I was okay. And the quilt came out really pretty. And the people who were piecing it were learning. And we had a couple pieces that got messed up. But it didn't break my soul because I knew that it was like $3 a yard, $3.40 a yard. So, you know, I'm not a fabric spender. This is not, I have certain fabrics, and you know, my certain fabrics are batiks that I love, and some beautiful, let me share this, a beautiful, I hope she's here. Her name is Carissa. She's on my YouTube, she watches my YouTube. And she donated this beautiful fabric to me to do on a giveaway. And I've had it for a year. I was hoping to do some type of giveaway, but she sent this to me. So some of you sweet subscribers send me fabric, and I kind of like hoard it because it's such a treasure to receive something from you guys. Not that I'm expecting anything, because I don't need anything, but it was such a sweet gesture that she did this for me. And so I wanted to do a quilt blocks with this and do something unique with it. But yeah, so yeah, I got a lot of fabric. I'm not a fabric person. I'm more of a gadget person. I love this type of stuff. This. I love this stuff. This is what I spend my money on. And thread. Someone said something. Hold on, did I miss something? Yeah, don't let anyone make you feel bad if you don't have an expensive machine. Yes, Shelly, crazy cheap, right? $3.44. It's not the machine, I promise you. It's not the machine. There's some people out there that, lose weight with just 5 pounds. And yes, someone asked me if I used canned air. I am starting to use canned air for blowing out the typewriters and blowing out the batting away from my computer. Let me see. I'm trying to read your comments. I'm so sorry. Nice to talk to you, Tangerine Zest. I used to have a source fabric. Yeah, don't let anybody make you feel bad about what machine you use, because who knows what they can do with it. Just because you have it doesn't mean you'll use it. I didn't use my machine for 5 years because I was scared of it, because I spent so much money. I was afraid of breaking it, and that was bad on me. I should have used it. And then when it did break on me, it was out of warranty, because I should have been using it when it was not, when it was in warranty. Let me see. Sorry. But just practice. If you want to learn long arm quilting, practice. Like, I'm getting a laser, right? There's some people who bought lasers that I'm learning from, the company that I'm buying my laser. They said they haven't even turned it on. Why did you buy the laser? So for me, when I get my laser, I'm going to have to decide that I'm going to use the thing. There's people, and it's not just like a laser or a long arm. It's some people buy new sewing machines and they're still in boxes. Or people buy a Cricut and it's still in a box and they never opened it. People will buy heat presses and they still don't use it. People buy embroidery machines, 6 needle, 10 needles, it doesn't matter, and they just won't use it. If you don't use what you put your money into, then you're not going to get any benefit out of it. And so it doesn't matter if you don't use it. If I don't use this ruler, whatever money I put into it, I'm not getting anything from it. So use the things that you have. If you have a little sewing machine and you want to quilt your own quilts, you can still do it. You don't have to have a long arm. You don't have to limit yourself. You can still do it. Let me see. What's my favorite tool right now? My favorite tool. These little suckers are cool. These little suckers are so cool, especially when I'm working. Cool. What other tool? My other favorite tool. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. My other favorite tool. Okay. Ow. 2 favorite current tools. Ow! That hurt. This one. This, whenever I have loopers, and it's not really common when I have loopers, but if I have a looper and I have to fix it, this little tool is the best tool ever. It is a crochet needle. Crochet needle. Let's see. What other tool do I have? And I have videos on these, people. Okay. This is a crochet needle. If you're a long armer, get one of these. They're really cheap. Couple dollars. Love. The other new tool that I'm testing and I pretty kind of like, when I was marking that star quilt, I used these invisible, they're called invisible pencils. When you use this, I did a video on these. You can mark on you can mark on dark fabrics, and with your iron it completely disappears. I like them, but you can have this really, they kind of wear down quickly. So now I understand why you get 3, or I got 4. So this one was real sharp and real full, and within like marking maybe a chunk of the quilt, I ended up losing a lot of the pen. Like, look, it kind of like wore down real quick. Love these. My other favorite tool, and I love these, I'm a pin chick. These double pinned pins. Favorite tool ever. Let me see. These. They're Magic Pin Pros. The reason I like them, they're the best thing to connect your 2 seams so when you're sewing, it does not shift on you. Favorite tools. These are my 3 current favorites. Well, let me just say 4. The vacuum, this one when I'm custom quilting, this one when I'm custom quilting, and this when I'm regularly sewing. Those are my favorite tools. These are a bit expensive, but God, they're worth it. I love them. And this thing, when you're sewing and you have a mess on your table and you have like all those scraps, you just vacuum it up like a little sewer and it just vacuums up the thread in any mess, especially when you're doing manky quilts. Favorite gadget ever. All right, let's see. Where am I? That's nice. Hold on, let me see. There, I buy stuff on Amazon. Let's see. No. When I get my Longarm quilting machine, when I get my laser, I'm going to start a different channel, and it's going to be specifically for the laser. And I don't even know if I'm going to do another channel for the laser. What I want to do is I'm going to have to learn how to work the laser. So I'm going to do the process of learning the laser, but I'm still going to be doing this gig. Longarm quilting, I love it. I love the community that I've created with all of you. You've been so good to me. You guys have been so kind to me. You're willing to take time from your family to watch me, like even now. You guys are so sweet. I want to be here for you. There's one lady who just from Tennessee, I believe she's from Tennessee. She called me and asked me if she could have a talk with me about what machine to purchase. And I sat with her for about an hour and I talked to her. And it was the neatest thing seeing her take a picture of her having her Longarm in her house. Not that I wanted her to get a Gamble or a Longarm. She was already in the process of making a decision, and it was just so neat. Her getting the machine that she's going to love. And I want to be here to encourage her and support her. I wish I had that when I started because I made a lot of mistakes. a lot of mistakes in longarm quilting. And then I also found that I had a lot of questions with very little support. And so the longarm, this is still going to be here. I'm going to do patterns and quilt tops. I want to do a little bit more custom work so you guys can see the process of me custom quilting, because just recently I did a star quilt and I changed the way I long-armed it, and I set up the custom quilting process, and oh my god, it saved me so much time. And I know some people, they teach up here, but they don't teach the whole process of custom quilting. They show snippets, pieces. They don't even show you like how to stand, how to lean on the bar. They don't show you things that maybe you should know when you're working. Not that I'm saying that I know everything, because I don't know everything, but I want to be here for those of you. I even want to do this too. I want to learn, I want to learn how to quilt on that little machine. Now that I have my own sewing machine over here, I want to see if I can quilt a baby quilt, because that's how I started. And not everybody's going to buy a long arm. You know what I mean? And there was a lady who did, Shelly was there with me, who did a class on how to quilt a quilt. Wait, I'm trying to point at the sewing machine. This sewing machine over here, she used these rollers and stuff. I want to try it. So, no, I'm not going to leave. No, I've worked too hard to be on here. I literally have been doing this since 2014. Yeah, 2014. And I'm finally kind of a bit growing. So, no, I'm going to be here for a while. But I am considering doing another channel for the laser, maybe. I don't know. I've noticed that YouTube likes me doing these live streams. I notice you guys like them a bit more. So I'm thinking of adding maybe a live stream every month and then adding my regular videos. I was talking to Shelly the other day. I ended up having to buy another camera. Honestly, man, it just kind of like this. Yes, I'm going to try to go to the Houston Quilt Show, and I'm going to try to be there 3 to 4 days at the Houston Quilt Show. But I ended up having to buy a new camera, and this camera is 4K, so I'm learning how to shoot in 4K, and I'm learning. I had to get an adapter because the lens that came with this camera, I'm all up in your face. And I'm used to, you know how you're used to your own setup? And so I can't do the entries and exits and talk about the videos when this camera was all like, hi, my name is Elena, nice to meet you. So I got an adapter and I finally got the speaker mic working. So I think I'm gonna be able to do my regular videos, but I had a debate about, do I really want to buy a new camera? Because she cost a good penny, and but I realized that I hadn't. I'm picking up stuff off the floor. I realized that I hadn't bought a camera since 2017 already, so my other camera was pretty old. So yes, I'm still gonna be doing this. Can't wait to see the laser. Me too. I am excited about the laser. Because I think what I'm going to do, like, stuff, and then I'll be able to do cheap, really cool giveaways. You know what I mean? Enjoy your day. Will Simpson. I've been longarm quilting since 2009. But really learning, probably 2011. Really serious about it, 2011. No, Maya, no, the camera. I am going to do rulers to sell. But this is the but. My hope is that I can get the plexiglass pretty cheap, and because there's not a third person, because Lisa Callie, I'm not sure. Okay, this is my thought. whoever gets these rulers made, Quilt's Apothecary and Lisa Callie or whoever, they go to a person to make the rulers for them. So they charge them a certain price range, and then they hawk up that price range to another price range. So I feel like since I'm going to be the laser owner and I'm going to cut the rulers, there's not going to be that third person hawk up fee. Because the truth is plexiglass is not that expensive. This is not that expensive to where you're paying $20, $30 for one item. So my thought is, if I sell my rulers and I'm the cutter, I did go to a lady a while back and have her cut me some rulers, and I don't think the lady understood what I wanted. I don't think she understood anything that I asked her. I asked her to put a certain logo on it, and she didn't do it. And so what ended up happening is there was water stains. The plexiglass she used was already stained, worn, and scratched plexiglass. So I got a really raw, ugly product, and there was no way that I could sell that ruler. But the ruler, what I liked about it, because I was testing one of them, they were smaller rulers to move in your hand. And I think it's a labyrinth quilt, that brick quilt that I did years ago. And I used that ruler, and I love that size ruler because when you're doing custom quilting, your hands get tired. And so my hope is that I can get like color rulers, and I could put lights inside the ruler to where the light beams down on the lines so that you could see your fabric. Now, this is all in dreamland of Lorena, okay? I don't know if it's going to be able to happen, but I was already looking at little lights that you could put into the plexiglass so it lights the ruler. So when you're sitting it on the fabric, it lights your quilt. But my hope is that when I make the rulers, there is not that price hawk up that they make on plexiglass. And I want to be good to y'all, but I also want to be able to bring in some income for myself. So there's that kind of balance. I want to do like tables that will sit on the Longarm to where you'll be able to kind of push it to the side and put your tools on top. So the table sits on your rods with the plexiglass, and you're able to have your tools in a set place. But all that is in my mental design process brain. That's what I think I could do, but I don't know if I can do. Does it make sense? But I do want to make my own rulers. Like I want to make rulers like this, but that are half the size and that have a handle. And I want to test different size handles, like see how it will sit in different hands, because not everybody has. Some people have small hands. Some people have medium-sized hands. Some people have narrow hands. So those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about for all of us. And I don't want to bring anything to you that I'm not in love with. I want to make these. I love this idea that I created. Best idea ever. The only issue I have with it is my thread ends up nesting. But I love this idea. As a matter of fact, what I want to do is do something with the plexiglass ruler where these can sit and make kind of like a dome, kind of, where the thread is able to lock itself and you have the ability to see your... I love this because when I'm working for my clients, I'll sit and I'll wind a whole bunch of them, and then I'll put this inside the thread spool like I showed on the video when I did these years ago, and I know that that quilt is ready to start quilting because everything's ready. I love this idea, but it needs a little bit more work, kind of, and this was just a wood thing, but I thought a plexiglass idea of this would be kind of cool, but it's all in my brain. Spinning, and I'm drawing it out, and thinking of what I could do, but when it gets here, it's going to probably take me a bit to figure it out. I also think like I would be able to do it and then do more giveaways. Doris, if you want to be a tester for me, I would love it. I've had some of you try my patterns. I would never thought I would be a good pattern maker. And some of you give me good feedback, like, I really love your pattern. It was easy to do. I need someone to be a pattern writer for me, so that I could kind of, I don't want to do crazy, like charge $10 a pattern. I think that's ridiculous, but I understand why they do that. But I would love to like sell my patterns for like $5, maybe $3, maybe $2, so that people can get patterns if they need them. I also wanted to get the longarm quilting designs where you could do digital designs. But I want to do everything, but I feel like I need to focus. Because I'm one of those people like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do all of this. And it's fine and good, but yeah, I need to just focus, I feel. So I was thinking the other day, like I made a mistake getting the laser, because I just focus on YouTube and my long arm and just work in the community and serve. But I love learning. So right now I'm doing a podcast that I'm excited to come up here and just do, because I'm learning something different and new, and it's challenging me. And so when I upload a podcast, whether it's good or not, I'm excited that I uploaded it because I did it. So that's kind of what pushes me. So yes, I want to do all of it. And my son is an accountant, and he's I told him that I want him to kind of take over the business aspect of what I do, so that I could focus more on the creative aspect, which is doing videos and kind of teaching and sharing and making, because I love making stuff. That pin cushion, I made some pin cushions, guys. I need to do a video. Sometimes I add videos on stuff that you're probably not very interested in, like this ironing board. I love this ironing board. I love it. But I love the fact that I made it. So I think that's the kind of stuff I want to do. But who knows? I'm waiting for the laser. It's going to take a while before I get it. Let me see. Yes. Yes, Doris. I don't have a lot of time to do everything, but I want to do everything before I die. Get it all in. Get it all in. But you know what? Sometimes I'm just so thankful that I learned how to do YouTube and get serious about it. I'm so thankful that I invested in the cameras, and I learned how to edit differently, play around with things, and just have your patterns patented. Mary, how do you patent your patterns? I know you could get them copywritten, but I don't know how you could patent them. I don't know if you could do rubberized jelly. Do they have that? With the laser, you could cut leather, paper, fabric. Did you know you could cut fabric with a laser? You could cut plexiglass. You could etch metal. You can do a lot. And I'm getting a huge laser. So I was thinking of making like these. I think are laser cut. No, maybe not. They're probably like cut with a cutter, but you can literally cut laser fabric. There's this lady who cuts fabric out of a laser. I don't know who she is, but I've heard about her. Let's see. Yeah, Lisa Wilkinson, there is a needle that Sharon Chamber recommends for your long arm, so that when the needle hits the plexiglass, the needle breaks before it hits your timing. No, I don't know if I have it. Sharon Chamber has a video on it. It's a specific shank size ruler. I'm not sure these are not it, okay? But there's a specific shank size ruler that is made for long arm quilting, that when the needle hits the ruler, it doesn't affect your timing, because the needle will literally pop before it hits your timing and pushes your timing out of sync. That's a thought, okay? Because I get those specific needles. Just letting you know. Is it a CNC? My laser, it's an Ayana Nova 14. It is a tube laser. I don't know if it's a CNC machine. I don't think so. It's not a CNC. Ginger, the laser cutter will be able to cut fabric for me. It will be able to cut rulers, make templates for me if I want to. For example, I did that heart ruler and I made some templates of butterflies. If I want to sell the pattern, I can literally put the butterfly templates in there, and the laser cutter will cut the templates faster. It can cut paper templates, wood templates. It could cut plexiglass, leather templates. It can cut anything. Leather cutters end up buying lasers so that they can cut through the laser the leather themselves, so they're not having to use dies. So I wanted it for plexiglass, and also for, you could cut wood, you could make signs. There's a lady who cuts fabric with the laser. You can literally create boxes and do different things. But initially, I was looking at rulers, because these suckers are expensive. They're like, this one's $16, and you want to know, think about it. Plexiglass on wholesale, it probably costs them $1. This plexiglass costs them $1, and they're charging you $16, $19 for it. That's a lot of markup. I'm getting an Ayana Nova laser. I think it's a 14. I don't know what EPP templates are, but I can make templates out of wood, and also it could etch glass. Ayana, A-E-O-N. Ayana Nova 14. Maybe see if I can find it. But I'm waiting for it. I already have downstairs ready and everything moved out. Yes, English paper piecing. All, you know, like, this was cut by a laser. And they etched the back of it. Well, some of them were etched the back of it. This etched the back of it. Do you see that? Maybe. Hold on. This was all etched by a laser. Yeah. And what I was thinking would be cool is if I etch this with the laser, I could custom do work. So I could get you a ruler. And if you order a ruler for me, I can etch your beautiful name into the ruler. And like if you have a company, I can etch the company name and then make you small rulers or small keychains so that you can sell those to your client, give them to your clients every time you finish a quilt for them. So they have a keychain of your name with a little ruler. Just a thought. I'm here to cater to all of us. All of us. All of us. And so, yes, we're going into like an hour, 2 hours. So I don't want to keep you from your family any longer. But if after I leave here, because we're going to leave, I'm going to leave, okay? I'll get distracted. I'll keep talking. marketing genius. I'm trying. I'm not a business person though. When I was audited, it was the worst. And ask Shelly. I am a very organized human being. I have everything organized. I'm organized. And so, but I'm thinking about us being able, oh, wait, just before you leave, I want to share this. Move or come. Okay, just quick, okay? I want to share this just quick because I don't want to keep you. This is I talked about this. It's an unstitcher. But I bought this. It is an unstitcher. Remember when I was fixing and unstitching a huge king size quilt. Huge king size quilt. And I used the Peggy stitch eraser. And this is what I'm kind of like weary about for us because you're a quilter and because you're a maker, quilt stores will hawk this thing up the butt because they know you're retired, they know you have money, and they will hawk the prices up for you so that they could get you to spend money on fabric. But they also do that on tools, on notions. So on allstitch.com or all brands, it's allbrands.com. No, it's allstitch.com. They have one of these. This is a Peggy stitch eraser, but this is like from Amazon. They're the Peggy stitch eraser, and they have Peggy stitch and it's all this. They were charging probably like $100 for this product. Okay. Peggy stitch eraser by itself is another $80, but it's it's the same kind of cutter, but it's different blading system. And they use it to remove embroidery thread or stitches. I went on Amazon and I looked at the picture for the Peggy stitch eraser and I went on this one. But because you're a maker, like an embroiderer, if you have an embroidery machine, they know you have money. If you're a quilter, they know you have money. If you are a longarmer, they know you have money. And so they hawk up all these prices on you and overcharge on things like a ruler that, yes, plexiglass in itself can be expensive, but this ruler, come on, it's not $30 worth of material, or 40, 30, 20. And I'm not saying nothing about Jamie Wallen or Lisa Callie or any of them. They're having to pay more because of the laser cutter they used to cut their rulers for them. But what the market says is the Peggy stitch eraser, the same cutter, $100, and I paid, I think, $17 for this one. $17. So they also have, it's called the Peanut. It's the same Peggy stitch eraser, but it's different. It's a Peanut. You can go to Sally's hair salon and buy that hair razor that men use. It's only $40, but at allstitch.com, that Peggy stitch eraser, they'll charge you $100. So they'll hike up a product because you're the sewer. You're a sewer. You're a maker. You're retired. They are marketing. They're trying to market, hike up. So if a quilt store was to get these are only $10. But a quilt store, and they put quilting, and they put Longarm, or they put something else, they'll sell this same product for $30 to $40 when it's only worth $9. And it's because who they're marketing to, and they're marketing to women, and they're marketing to white people, and they're marketing to richer people who have retirement money. Now, it doesn't mean you do have that kind of money, but that's who they're marketing to. And so what they'll do is, because you are a maker, they'll hike up prices. And they'll do that with patterns, they'll do that with tools, and they'll do with everything. So I saw this at the Peggy, all brands. I saw this same product, and I went on Amazon and I found it. And this little sucker cost me $17 instead of spending $89 or $79 for the same product. So this right here, which I love these, they're great, but these are $20, 20 something dollars, and they're just pins. But because it's marketed to quilting, they will raise the prices up on you. And I think that that's like unfair for me, I feel, because I think it's just unfair. So we were talking about this on the other live feed, this Peggy stitch eraser, and I looked it up, and this is the cordless, and you plug it in and it charges for you. I found it the same exact product for $17 in comparison to 80 something. And the peanut to the Peggy stitch eraser is 40 compared to 100. Can you imagine? So they know you'll spend money. They know. And because they know you'll spend money, they'll take advantage of that. So try to find ways to spend your money wisely, kind of. If you're not going to use it and you know yourself, don't buy it. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to this is my favorite ruler, and this is one of them that I had made. This is mine. It cost me, she overcharged me. It cost me $5. $5. Oops. I don't know if you can see it. But I love this little tiny Longarm quilting ruler that I made. It was only $5. So yeah, the spray bottles, quilt stores will buy those spray bottles that are from Sally's, just because they'll sell them for $20, $40 at a quilt store, and they're only $5 at Sally's. You're right, BJ7481. Yeah, water bottles, they'll overhype you. So be mindful that they're out to get money out of you, and to be careful. But I want to make stuff that I'm fair to myself and I'm fair to you, and that, like, I don't know, I want to that's ridiculous. Just because you're a quilter and because you're white or retired, maybe say it nicer, you're retired, they know you have money to kind of throw away. And so $17, can you imagine? And it's the same exact product. But if you start looking at stuff, like, quilt stores will start getting these little cleaners and start charging you like $20 for a bundle, when I got a whole bag for $5, or I got 100 for $10. But they're not thinking of you. Like these, they're not worth $14, these bobbin genies, but they're marketing to Sharon Chamber. I also did a ruler on that Teflon sheet that you put on your sewing machine, the Supreme Glider. That Supreme Glider, it's just a plastic Teflon sheet. They're charging you $60 for it, when you can literally use that. You could use vinyl that you can put on your machine, and it slicks down your machine. It costs you 50 cents instead of $50. But they're marketing to people who are retired, who have money, and so be mindful how they want to take advantage of you. Bobbin size. Yes, but if you Gamble, as a matter of fact, Gamble changed their bobbins. Did you know that? I know I wanted to leave. Gamble changed their bobbins because they were charging $3.50 per bobbin. I get these bobbins on Amazon. They work better. They work better. I get 100 for $30. 100 for $30. These work better. And I'm sorry, Gamble, don't get mad at me. And Innova had the red ones. And the Innova ones, I think they wanted, I did a video on them where I bought like a thing of them and they charged $10 for like, I don't know, I think they came out to $1 something each one. And these came out to 30 cents per bobbin. So yeah, but research, I'm trying to share with you how you could save money. And one way is, I'm sorry, Amazon, they'll sell you anything. But if I'm going to save money on little tiny bobbins, because Gamma literally changed their pricing just recently. I saw it because they probably saw one of my videos because I was talking about like they're charging $3.50 per their bobbin, and I don't think their bobbins work as well. So they went to an aluminum size bobbin where it's a lighter weight bobbin, but it still looks like their bobbin kind of, but it's not as heavy weighted. And their bobbins, they still want $1.50 for the bobbin, which is better than $3.50, but still I can get these for 30 cents. 30 cents. 30 cents. But they'll hawk it up, man. They'll hawk it all up. They'll and their marketing literally Gamma, my bottom computer, there was a battery going out. A little tiny little battery that cost 50 cents was going out. I'm just telling you this. And the guy turned around and told me, ha 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 ha, your battery's going out. And I didn't understand, right? Because I didn't know computers had batteries in them. And I didn't know you could replace the battery because I'm not a computer person. And so I told them, well, how much would it cost me to have you replace my batteries? Because now I think I need to replace a computer. They told me I would need to pay $2,500. No, I think, yeah, $1,800 plus the warranty, plus the shipping, plus the tax. So it comes out to $2,300, give or take. I'm not sure, okay? For the computer, 2010 Windows for the computer. He says he could ship it to me in like 2 days and I could have it. I ended up having a friend. Her son came to my house. He opened my computer. He goes, oh, your little, the watch battery that you put on your watch, that circle one, it's C5023 or something like that. He ended up putting that little tiny battery into my computer, and my computer lasted another 4 years. But did Gamble tell me that's all I had to do? No. Because they wanted to sell another computer to me. So it was just a little computer, a little battery that went into my computer. And the kid opened up my computer. He put in the battery and it cost me $1 because I had to buy 2 batteries because they came with 2 batteries. So keep in mind that when you buy a Longarm or when you buy a machine or when you buy an embroidery machine or even sewing machines, they're out to get money off of you. And so do your research. Do a lot of research. Be research minded because you're putting a lot of money into a machine. And yeah, but I turned around and I asked a friend who worked on computers, hey, he says it needs a battery. What is he talking about? And he opened it and it was a little tiny watch battery. So look for, literally I went on allstitch.com. I saw this little sucker. I went to Amazon and saw and I compared the pictures and tried them both out. And sure enough, this little thing, $17 compared to $80 something, it works. It just doesn't have the BS on it. It doesn't have the quilting and it's plain. And Gamble, I don't know, the bobbins are the same thing. It doesn't have the Gamble name brand. Who cares? This works better, believe it or not. The aluminum cheap, they work the same. But just I was shocked at the Walmart fabric. Like, and then the quilt stores say buy local, buy small, support your community. Kind of like that's BS, man. You're spending $100 and something, like $300 on fabric when you can get the same fabric for $30. The Brother Scan and Cut. If you're gonna get a scan and cut, I recommend that you get a Cricut. You could literally scan a picture into your computer and have the Cricut cut it for you, and it works better. And I would get the Cricut Maker. The Brothers Scan and Cut, I don't know, they're expensive. Hello, Darlene, how are you? They're expensive. They're expensive. And also, I don't want to get into a tangent because I would get in trouble. Bernina, if you're going to buy an embroidery machine, do not spend $3,000 on a one needle single embroidery machine. Do not do that. If you're going to put $3,000 into an embroidery machine, put it towards a 6 needle machine, because you can start making money off of that machine. I ended up getting a Singer XL 6000, which it wound the bobbin, fed it through the needle, embroidered, unwound, wound the second thread into the needle, and it embroidered. And it took forever. And I did spend $3,000 on that single needle embroidery machine, but I didn't know no better. So my recommendation, if you want to do embroidery, save your money and get a 6 needle. You'll make that money back. You'll make every single penny back. As a matter of fact, I got a 10 needle just recently, and I make the money back. I did these little baby towels and put a letter P. I charged her $3.50 per towel, and she brought me 20, and she got mad at me. Why are you charging so much? Because remember when I did that decal and I made 9 cents? I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. I charged $3.50 for the towels. And I said, ma'am, I'm using a stabilizer on the top, a stabilizer on the bottom, and I'm heat setting. I'm sorry. Or I'm going to have to clean it. It takes my time, and I'm setting it up. I'm charging you $3 a towel for one letter. It doesn't matter. You can put 10 for all I care. It's the same price. Sure enough, she paid me. And so, but a 6 needle embroidery machine, right now they have PR 620s. They're cheaper now. They're easy to fix. They're cheap to recover and repair. From Walmart for $12 to $30. F-swell. So I've never used a scan and cut, but I think a Cricut is better. Because Cricut, you could literally it has a rotary cutter now. And the Cricuts are only like $300, and they go on sale during the holidays. I think scan and cuts are really expensive. I'm just saying, but they're marketing to you. They're marketing to people who they think have money to spend and throw away. Yeah, Sandra, and just because you're retired doesn't mean you have extra money. But there's ways of getting things. When I first started, I used to be broke. When I was younger, because I had to take care of my kids, I gave myself a $20 allowance, or maybe $15 every week. And I would allow myself to buy something that was sewing related, like a pen, or I would save my couple weeks allowance and buy myself one ruler or buy myself a rotary cutter. And I love Joann's because they give you coupons, but they're catering. It's not our business to make this cheaper for others. They can. Doris, you're right. But I'm not making cheaper for others. I just want to help you succeed. Does it make sense? And there's ways of being successful for myself and for you. Does that make sense? And people can charge whatever they want, the creators of it's however they want to be. I just think that, I want to do something that's a good product, that's fair. So when I do work for clients, I'm fair to the client, and I'm trying to be fair to myself, not try to overcharge the client and know that I'm ripping them off to justify being fair to myself. So it has to be balanced, I feel. The other day I kind of screwed myself with that dumb decal and wasted a lot of time and a lot of energy, and I lost money. And I just told myself that if I'm going to invest the amount of time I'm going to invest in a job, I need to get paid for it. And what I found is I was underbidding myself and thinking that a job would take very little time, and then it took more time, and so I lost time and money. So I'm trying to kind of change my mindset, kind of. So the lady got mad at me, and I said, I'd rather not do it. I'd rather not do the job. No, the lady who I did the towel job I wrote a letter. I embroidered a letter P on her towel, just the letter P. They were little hand towels, and she got mad because she's like, it's only a letter P. I said, yes, I understand it's only a letter P, but I'm using stabilizer on the bottom, which is a tearaway, and I'm using a stabilizer on the top, which is a water soluble. And I said, and I'm going to have to hoop it. So I'm using, and it doesn't even include the embroidery thread or the use of my machine. So you're already using two materials. I'm not doing the towel if I'm like making $3.50. And so she was like upset with me. And I said, you can go to Embroider Me and they'll charge you $15 a towel. It's up to you. And she came to me and she brought me 20 towels. And 20 towels, and that's a lot of material. And it's also the skill that I'm bringing to the table. And I was really kind of like content with myself, and I did a great job. But people will want to undercharge you, like lowball you. Like when I did that dumb decal. Oh my God, that decal. I made 9 cents on that decal. The lady just recently called me. She told me that the daughter ruined the decal. She wanted me to do another decal, and she wanted me to heat press the decal this time. When I told her, when I do the decal, have her bring me the item. I'll heat press it for her. And I told her, no, I'm not doing the decal. I'm not going to waste more time on a decal that I already lost money for. I offered all these things for you, and she wanted me to stop my life today and be doing it right now, this second. And I said, no, I don't have time for you. I did have time, but no more. Mark Wesley, am I hiring? No, not yet. But I'm hoping that as things go along, I do want to hire creative people. I want my son to take over my business, meaning I want to hire down the line. I don't know where this is going to go. I may stay just as small as I am now, but down the line, I would love to hire an embroiderer, because sometimes I get overwhelmed with a lot of embroidery work and quilting. I would like to hire another, like a longarmer, teach someone how to longarm, and teach someone how to edit videos so that I could get an editor, because I spend 6 to 7 hours editing videos and to post them, and sometimes they don't do very well. And so I wanted other people to come and kind of take some of the burden off of me. But we're trying to get things ready as we go along. You're here in Austin, Mark. I would love to meet you one day. Yeah. A lot of people want something for nothing. You're right. But I think I'm learning, for me, to be balanced there. I deserve to get paid for the skill I bring. And if I want to give it for free, that's like this quilt. Like this quilt, I'm giving this quilt for free. And I'm giving the quilting for free. And I'm donating some embroidery work for free. But that's up to me, right? That's up to me to decide. But when people come to me and expect free work, that's not up to them to decide, especially when they're coming to me. So there's this, you have to be really balanced. I think the word is balance. I always talk about, am I being balanced? Am I being fair to this client, and am I being fair to myself? Because sometimes I'm very fair to the client and I'm not fair to myself at all. As a matter of fact, I've done a custom quilt where I should have charged like $800 for that custom quilt, and I've spent 2 weeks custom quilting that quilt, and I realized, like, man, if I would have charged right, I would have not lost the time and money. But then I looked at it, I learned a skill. So is the skill worth the loss? And sometimes it is. Yeah. And you know, you just have to be fair to yourself. And like the decal job that I only made 9 cents on. You know what I said to myself? I said, you're not going to do this to yourself ever again, Lorena. You're not. So when the lady asked me for the towels and she got upset with me, I sat there and I said, would I rather spend my time quilting my own quilt, embroidering my own thing, or do I want to be doing her job for the price? I think she was hoping that I would charge like $2 or $1.50 a towel. So I had to decide. And I told her, I'd rather not do the job. And I did the job. She gave me the work. I did 20 little towels. And I also ended up doing some onesies and some blankets. And, you know, you can't go anywhere else and get stuff embroidered for $3 or 50 cents. No. And I know it. And so she came and got me the work. And when I was doing the embroidery job, I was so content with myself. Like, you know what? This is you're pricing yourself well. I think I made $100 on that job, and I spent probably 3 hours. So I priced myself, I feel, well for the amount of time of work that I did. And I don't think maybe it took 2.5 hours, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. 2.5 probably. So yeah, but if you're a newbie and you're getting a long arm, pricing yourself is really kind of hard. And I have a custom quilt that I'm doing, and I finished one of the stars because they're my favorite clients. And I'm finishing one of the stars, and I'm going to do another star quilt that I'm going to quilt. If you want to see it, it's on Lorena's Quilting Facebook group because I've posted pictures of that quilt. You don't know what to charge because you don't know what work it entails when you're doing it sometimes, especially when you're doing custom. And when I finished that quilt, I was so like, okay, now I know if I ever get another quilt like this, I know what to charge because I know how hard it is to quilt it. But when you first get the job, you don't know. But now I know, so now I have a better idea where to go and how to price. So from that point on, I have another one that I'm quilting for another client, exactly the same star. And now I know, okay, hers has more custom, so I am charging a bit more for her because it has more custom on the borders. And this other client, it was more computerized work around the border and on certain areas. But I did custom all the center star. But now I know, like, okay, from here on out, if I ever get one of those again, I'm going to charge this kind of rate because now I know how much time it takes. But all that comes through experience. So all of that comes through experience. And when I lost money on that decal, it wasn't even the decal. Cutting the decal is dealing with the client that took too much time. And the lady wanted me to do another decal. I'm like, no, I don't want to deal with you. You took too much time. I don't have time for you. So I'm just sharing like different things with you, what I'm learning. But your experience is going to be so different, especially if you're out there working for others. Do I do t-shirt quilts for people and what price? I tell them $25 a shirt. I would charge $25 a shirt plus make them buy the fabric, period. Dolores Clark. You're being generous. I did 5 t-shirt quilts last year, and I charged $25 a quilt, and I provided the sashing, the back fabric, and the batting. And the problem was the quilts were queen size quilts. I kind of made like $400 or $500 per quilt. The truth is I lost money because on the quilt fabric and the batting and the sashing, I probably lost $100 just in materials, maybe a little bit more. And then, for example, if you're going to charge for quilting, if I'm going to charge for quilting that size, queen size of a quilt, I would probably make $200 to $300 a quilt. Maybe $200. Let's say $200 for a queen twin. So take $200 off of your price for your quilting. And that doesn't even include the 10 hours that you're going to use in cutting the shirt, the 10 hours that you're going to be stabilizing the shirts, the 10 hours that you're going to be putting the top together, and the hours that you're going to be binding. And I would not feel guilty when I charge what it's worth, and I would be getting fair. I would make them go buy the fabric for you. I will never do a t-shirt quilt again. I won't do a t-shirt quilt again. It's too much work. What ended up happening, because I had 5 of them to do for a client, I had a friend build me the tops because I had already spent 20 hours taking the fabric apart. And I just, the batting, I think I did videos on them too. I ended up Frankensteining batting so that I would use my scrap batting so I could save money. I used fabric that I got on sale that I was never going to use. But if I'm really honest with myself, I probably used, okay, so batting's like $50 on a queen size quilt if you buy it. It doesn't include the back fabrics. The fabric's another $60. That's $110. And I charged her $400, and that didn't include making it. So that was, I made $200 a quilt. And then that wasn't even worth the time. Mark Wesley, if you want a quilt quilted from me, you have to message me on Messenger. Yeah. And so just be mindful of that. All the little things add up a lot. They add up a lot. So be mindful of what you're pricing. And I try to be really good with my clients because I want return clients. But at the same time, I want return clients that make my life easy. And I also want return clients that they're worth quilting for. Yeah. You're buying the batting wholesale, but you're also going to be, yeah, I buy it like with coupons. I used to buy wholesale batting. I should buy wholesale batting, but I buy it with coupons. I would just, do not be afraid to charge. I'm telling you something I've learned. I would rather, this is how I've learned. And this is just me, just clear. Could I be doing something that I love doing than doing this? And make it worth your time, because time is not given back to you. So that's something that I'm learning now. I know I'm like going to be 50, but as you turn older, you start looking at time in a different way. So now I think about time like I want to finish my own quilts. I want to finish my own items. I want to do my own things. And if I'm going to take a job, I'm really going to have to decide that this job is worth taking because it's taking away from what I want. Because I'm a long armor, and it's stupid. I have like 30, 40 quilts that I need to quilt for myself, and I'm a long armor. And if I die, then my kids are going to sell them at garage sales. Quilts that I've spent time and time and time and time doing, and not, you know, is it worth it? And if it's worth it, then it's worth taking away something from me to get something in return. And that something in return will be money. Is it worth it? It's like when I did those towels. I'm not doing them for $2. What, $2 times, or $1.50 times 20? It's like 20, maybe $30. No. So someone says, I got 40 yards roll for $280 at Warm and Natural. Okay, I want Warm and Natural. I tell them I'll make it for free. Yeah. Just, you know, I'm doing a lot of stuff for the Grange right now, and I love doing it. There is a love, like doing the quilting bee, or yes, I really am loving it, but I also want to be balanced, like, because I can't do that without taking care of my business. I can't be doing that without taking care of my family or my relationships with my children. There has to be a real good balance. And so when you're taking a lot of time quilting, making t-shirt quilts for someone, if you love doing it and it's your jam and you have joy when you're doing it, go for it. But I still think you deserve to get paid for doing that skill, because t-shirt quilts take a lot of work, double the work than just making, for example, this quilt top takes less work than those t-shirt quilts. But depending on your friends, I have some great friends, but if it's worth it to you, right, it's your decision, then do it. If it's not, don't bother. And that's what I'm learning now. Is it going to give me what I want? And if it's not going to give me what I want, I'm not doing it. I don't want to waste my time. Because I think one of the things with the guild that I was getting frustrated with, I was investing a lot of time and not getting a lot of positive reinforcement. Now, I love doing it, but I was getting a lot of negative reinforcement, and I was getting frustrated. I was getting upset. I was taking things personal. It was affecting me coming to my own here working. I was chewing on it and kind of like, oh, I can't believe they behave that way. And though I loved doing it, the behavior of the people kind of were ruining it for me. And so after a while, though I did it for, I think, probably 7 months. No, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. I did it for 9 months. After a while, it started wearing on me that the return wasn't worth it anymore. I wasn't getting what I wanted out of it anymore. It was more negative than positive. And before, it was more positive than negative. And so I was getting a lot out of it. And so when I left it, when I left the guild, I just felt so almost free from the negativity, free from the games, free from the politics. It was just liberating. And I felt lighter, I felt lighter long arming and working. And so when you take work, I recommend those are things you think about. So right now I'm doing the quilting bee and I'm enjoying it. I love the fact that Salinas is helping me, and I have Jeanette Jones and I have Lonica helping me, and we're doing this work as a community. And I have some other wonderful ladies that are there. But if it becomes something that is not feeding me, the amount of work I'm putting into it, I can walk away from anything. And walk away from money too. If it doesn't give you what you need, walk away from it if you can, especially for clients. If clients are being butt heads and you're not getting nothing and you're killing yourself for nothing, move on. That, you know, sometimes it's okay to be alone. And there's some people that, like, I was telling my friend Monica, I said, you know, I can do my own sewing at my own house, or I could do things that I love by myself. I don't have to have the work, and I don't have to have whatever people think I have to have. Does it make sense? You could sew your own stuff without having to do a t-shirt quilt for somebody and make $200 for nothing. So yes, but do it with, I don't know. I'm kind of like rambling. It's getting late. It's going to be, God, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm sorry I'm keeping you. But if you need anything, go to Loneliness Quilting Facebook group and message me, text me. Once you join, you could text me. I see those faster than on YouTube. If you want to be part of the giveaway, please make a comment after I leave here and let me know what I could, so I could make bundles, make 2 bundles and ship them to y'all and bless somebody. Some of you out there with some of the blessings that I receive, I'll bless you back. All right. I appreciate you and I thank you. And if you're local, you're welcome to come to the Sweet Honeybee. We're having the bee over there every Friday at the Grange, 3rd Friday. And we're also having a Quilts of Valor the 1st Friday of every month. I really do appreciate you and thank you for your time. And if you need anything, hello, Amalia. Thank you for everything. Okay, guys, if you really need anything, please message me. I will talk to you. I will call you on the phone. I am that kind of person. I want to be here for this community and be a blessing to y'all. So I really thank you, okay? I love you in the Lord. Bye. Seriously, comment after this so you can get some stash fabric because I don't need that much. I love you, okay, guys?